My neighbor's dogs are barking. My mom has a loud video playing. I dropped my lipstick on my shirt and I dropped my phone in the trash earlier. Hello Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be one of those videos that I don't really know where I'm going with it. I just kind of want to talk because it's like an accumulation of thoughts and everything. Because if you're like a white person in America, a lot of holidays are coming up. Well, for everybody around the world, holidays are coming up, but you know what I mean. There's a very specific holiday happening this week. But that just has me thinking about how fucking cool that is. I made a video a bit ago earlier this year talking about I love how humans human, and that's just it. Across countries, cultures, religions, just anything, so many holidays are focused around food and eating, and that's a big pillar of community is food and eating and having meals together. I just think it's fucking neat. And again, I don't have a cohesive thought of this. I don't really have a specific place I want to go with these thoughts. I just want to talk it out. There's really lack of culture in white Europeans because when everybody came over to America, white Europeans were basically told leave that shit behind. You're coming here to do XYZ and build this up. Don't worry about all that. So a lot of white Europeans don't have culture. That's nobody's fault except for the white Europeans that then don't decide to look into it. But for instance, how I made also another video a little bit earlier this year where I just talked about being Portuguese. And I found as I'm getting older, I find so much more pride in the fact that I'm Portuguese, and I think it's cool that I'm Portuguese, and it's a lot of it is because specifically it's from my mother's side of the family, and that could be a whole conversation about women across cultures, countries, and religions being the ones that constantly do the labor, which usually involves food, and that's one of the many reasons that a lot of things like food and eating and everything are undervalued by the patriarchy. But that's a conversation that I don't have enough intelligent things to say, I guess I should say. I have plenty to say about it, but maybe not intelligent things to say anyway. But yeah, as I'm getting older, I find that part of my culture and my background a lot more interesting, and I would love to be able to go to Portugal one day and learn about different things about being Portuguese. However, for instance, I have a lot of aversions and dietary things with a lot of Portuguese food because a lot of Portuguese food, at least that I know of. So again, it's the American Portuguese, when people came to this country and kind of had to adapt a lot of their food recipes, again, across cultures, religions, countries, because America doesn't necessarily have everything that you need for your traditional at home dish. So a lot of food that my mom and her sisters and everything make, and then we have family gatherings. Well, used to make. I feel not everybody makes the same things anymore, but a lot of Portuguese stuff is meat heavy, and it's beef and pork specifically. I don't eat that. I don't eat beef or pork because it makes my tummy hurt. And then there's I know there's Italy. I am Italian. I don't remember whose side of the family that's from, but I am Italian, and Italy is a lot of dairy and also a lot of meat, and I can't really I don't really eat dairy that much, or I try not to, except for the coffee creamer, but that's besides the point because I'm lactose intolerant. And again, I don't eat a lot of beef or pork because it hurts my belly. A lot of bread though. I'm a European mutt, and we eat bread like it's nobody's fucking business, and God bless, because I do love bread. And oh, the other day, my mom made spaghetti meatballs, but turkey meatballs, delicious. But we usually eat angel hair because my mom has some dietary restrictions with bread and pasta, where even angel hair sometimes is too thick in her body. She needs to cut it up in tiny, tiny pieces. We didn't have angel hair. We only had spaghetti. So she didn't have any spaghetti. She just had meatballs. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are these noodles so huge? And they tasted starchy. And it was very odd, but it's because we always eat angel hair. Anyway, that's the thing is my background, I don't really eat a lot of, I guess you could say traditional foods from my background, from the various European countries that my family comes from. And I'm not big into soup. I prefer it more if it's a stew, a little bit of broth, sure. But if it's good food in there, I want more of the food than the broth. It's okay if it's a little wet. I'm okay with that. But I say all the time that after the first time I had pho for the first time. I was friends with a girl in high school, and like one of my best friends, and her family is Chinese. She's Chinese, and they, you know, introduced me to a lot of food that I had never had before. Like now I'm a rice slut. No rice, no life, because obviously they had rice with pretty much every dish they ate. And it was incredible. And I had pho for the first time when I was at her house. And every time I have pho now, I like get really emotional because one, it makes me think of, you know, back in high school when I was with her family, but also it feels so comforting. And it's like a weird instinctual level that I feel comforted. And it's probably because of those associated memories, but it like, I understand that people who grew up eating pho, and not that it's exclusive to Asian people, and like I believe pho is a Vietnamese dish, so it's not, you know, not that I'm saying it's exclusive to Vietnamese people, but people that grew up having pho as like a regular part of their diet, I understand why people are like, oh yeah, that's my comfort food. I feel like a lot of white people say like chicken noodle soup. I get it. It feels like I understand. I'm like, this is a comfort food, because anytime I go out anywhere and pho is on the menu, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get pho this time because I always get pho, and then I end up getting a bowl of pho. Just every time, because I can never resist it. I went to, I don't even know what it was called, but I went to a fancy ass ramen place with a friend for their birthday like 2 or 3 years ago, and they had like a duck pho. Tastiest shit I've ever had. So fucking good. Another one of my friends is, she calls it pagan bullshit, but she's pagan, and she celebrates a lot of the, I don't know if it's, I'm not a great pagan. I feel like with paganism, there's not like a wrong way to be pagan, but I'm not great at it because I don't keep as track of it as she does. So I don't know if it's, no, it's not specific to the Greek pantheon. Is it? Nicole, correct me, please. But a lot of the holidays that like she celebrates and we celebrate together, like Yule and like the summer and winter solstice, also center around foods. And a lot of the time it's like tasty bread and it's delicious cheeses, which, again, I don't really eat dairy, but I will have some Munster. I will eat some mozzarella. Why am I saying mozzarella wrong? And some like Parmesan. Ooh, good shit. The dogs are going ape shit because they're like, us too. So there's not, again, like there's not like, I wasn't going anywhere specific with this. I just think it's like incredible that did I catch on camera the weird sound that my body just made? I didn't have anywhere cohesive to go with this. I just wanted to kind of talk. And I think really what sort of inspired this is there's a lot going on in America right now. All over the world, yes, but like especially in America right now, there's a lot happening and it's really scary. And a big thing that I'm noticing, this has always been on my radar because I've been fat my entire life, but it seems like lately it's very much more like in my face. A lot of people, ED culture is coming back, and it's coming back with a fucking vengeance, and it's like starting to become glamorized because people in this country are starving, and the government, it like really, really wants that to happen. And I've noticed that you know, this isn't, I feel like I'm not saying this in like a nuanced way, and I'm also not the first person to have pointed this out, but it seems like a lot of the celebrity culture that, yes, while we're starting to dismantle it, is still held in high regard, seem to be promoting the starvation, because if we're glamorizing how that looks when we are starving and have those same looks and feelings, it'll be the thing of like, oh, look, I'm just like my favorite celebrity. So I've noticed a lot of that going on. And just like, please remember that you don't need to, food does not have moral value at all. It's not good. It's not bad. It's what you eat. If you're enjoying it, it's good. That's like, that's how I can phrase it. You don't need to be validated to eat. Just eat. You don't need permission. Just eat. And when you're starving, you can't do anything. You can't be part of the revolution. You can't do the bullshit bare minimum. You can't enjoy anything. You're sick. You're dying. It's not cute. It's not fun. And that's obviously intentional, like starvation. I'm not shaming you if you have an eating disorder, but I'm telling you that there are better options. And if you have, you know, the resources and the support system, that's the word I'm looking for, I encourage you to look into something else other than what you're currently doing. Because I promise everything is better than, what do people say? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Everything feels better than what skinny feels like. Everything. There are other options there. And food is incredible, and food is sustaining, and it's community building. It really is. If you feel like sad and lonely and, you know, the ED is really there, like if you look at it, again, this is so not nuanced, I'm just kind of throwing shit at a wall here, but like if you look at a lot of gym bros that like have eating disorders that none of us classify as eating disorders because, oh, well, they're just tapering and like, a lot of gym bros have eating disorders, and a lot of them are part of like the male loneliness epidemic, men being shitty. A lot of them are part of that because they don't have anybody to like hang out with other than the other dudes at the gym that are all posturing and trying to see who has the biggest dick at the gym. They're lonely and they're sad. And if you notice, I don't know, anybody that like has dealt with eating disorders in the past, where your community comes from, it's when you become healthy, when you're no longer starving yourself, when you're no longer creeping towards death. The community is there because it's around food and it's enjoyable. My sister-in-law has been kind of like, her and I kind of joke about like, oh, the relationship weight, because she has been talking about how she's gained weight, especially since she's been in a relationship with my brother, because it's fun. It's nice to go out and eat together. It's nice to enjoy a meal with somebody you love and have a good time and talk over it and enjoy the flavors. My brother cooks breakfast for her literally every morning, and it's very sweet and I love it. And it's just, I think it's wonderful. And I'm hot as fuck with my fat ass, so, you know, that wasn't where I was going with that originally, but I did want to make that point of like, it's okay. You can gain weight. If you needed permission, this is your permission. I support you and I love you, and food is incredible, and you can experience food from anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be specifically tied to your culture. That's the cool thing about like this era of the world, of this timeline of the world. We have options and like, you know, ways to get those options of food so that we can experience. What is it, Anthony Bourdain, that said something about like go somewhere and go as far as you can and like experience everything you can there. I'm definitely butchering his fucking quote, but like he's right. And I just wanted to specifically bring him up to tie him into the fact that like when he went to Palestine and everything, he very much spoke out about, you know, everything happening in Palestine. And that was, I don't even know when, years ago? So nobody can tell me that shit started on October 7th, 2023. Nobody can tell me that shit. So love to add that in. I like to tie everything together here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. And just so you know, the schedule for December, if you haven't gotten it already this week, you will be getting a second video this week. And it is a Stray Kids related video. If you've already seen it, you know, whatever, this is a moot point. But if it hasn't come out yet, you are getting a Stray Kids comeback video. And it's like a vlog and an unboxing and everything with my bestie. The rest of December is K-pop. I don't know what to tell you. It's binder maintenance and it's sorting photo cards and it's collective haul and everything. I think not exactly in that order, but almost. That's the rest of December. Then December has 5 weeks. So it's K-pop for 3 weeks straight. Buckle the fuck in, and they're all going to be pretty long videos. Actually, next week's video might be about this length, but all of them are going to be long videos. Buckle in, get ready for it. I'm going to take one of the Wednesdays off because it's Christmas Eve, I think, and I celebrate Christmas. So we're going to have a week with no video, and then the week after that is going to be like kind of my year wrap-up video that I always do. I don't know why I need to do it every year because I just end up saying the same shit every year, but at this point it's tradition. So we're getting into it. So get ready for December. Just wanted to throw that in there as a little warning. If anybody doesn't want to be here for my K-pop bullshit, too bad, because it's the entire month of December. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.